Hello everyone, this is Yulianna Avdeeva. First of all, thank you so much for joining the stream of my Warsaw recital earlier this week. Of course, it's a very special place for me to perform, and I was very happy to be there and perform for you. So thanks a lot for your great support, which I also felt. That's really, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. And today I am in Munich, but as you can see, I'm not at home. I am at the workshop of Steinway Munich, Steinway House Munich, and as you can see, there are many pianos here because it's a place where the pianos are being taken care of, and yeah, this is very special atmosphere here inside. And anyway, it is I'm very glad to have a concert grand Steinway, of course, tonight for tonight's session, as of course we will be going on with the book one with A major Prelude and Fugue by Bach. But after that, I'm very happy to talk about a wonderful, amazing piece by Franz Liszt, the sonata Après une lecture de Dante, or just Dante sonata, because there is a certain occasion why I'm presenting it or sharing thoughts about it with you today, because tomorrow I will be on my way to Ravenna. Ravenna is the place where Dante Alighieri, the great Italian poet, passed away, and it will be 700 years since he passed away, and there will be a huge celebration commemorating his death, and I will be performing in Ravenna this Saturday, of course, the Dante Sonata by Liszt, and there will be a live stream of the entire event, and I will be most happy to share the link of it with you, and I hope very much that you will also join this very special event from Ravenna. Thank you so much for your great words about my recital in Warsaw. Thank you very much. It's, as I'm saying, of course, as you know, Warsaw Philharmonic Hall is a very, very special place for me, and I'm always, of course, a little bit more excited maybe than at other places when I performed there, but of course the atmosphere and the great memories about this place, this is really wonderful. I hope that, yes, that you are all also doing well, and then we will just go now further with the A major Prelude and Fugue from Book 1. So A major is somehow a tonality which has so much brightness, so much light. In a way, it's also, maybe in my perception, maybe a little bit also pastoral, more, somehow as you would be observing something very, very beautiful. It's in a very, very quiet tonality as well. Yes, with a great, great dignity, and somehow, of course, also Beethoven, through 2 piano sonatas he composed in A major, but of course also Franz Schubert, who composed also some, and of course Beethoven's 7th symphony, and some Brahms serenade, and maybe this tonality is also not so somehow not so often used, but in 20th century, one of my favorite pieces in this key is, of course, the 6th sonata by Prokofiev. So I have to say, this set of Prelude and Fugue is actually quite complicated, although it doesn't sound like it would be, but it actually does. It's pianistically, it's also not so easy to play, but first of all, in my opinion, it is difficult to decide which kind of character you would like to choose or go for. So the prelude is actually it can be called even a small fuguetta, because basically it has also 3 parts, and it has has a kind of subject which is appearing in all voices. So it goes like this. So it's actually 3 bars. Very nice, very elegant, grazioso in a way. The other lines are also, what I was saying about difficult, because we have the bass voice going, and we have this line, this bigger steps, and at the same time this middle voice. This different articulation, because we have the quarter notes in the bass line. You see, the quarter notes in the bass. Again, I'm wrong. Yes, now I'm right. Yes, and the syncopations. And it's actually. Yeah, somehow it's much easier, and it sounds also for the sound imagination. It's helpful to divide this one line in 2 and play it with both hands, because then it's easier to hear. Because then it's easier to imitate it one. Yes, because otherwise it sounds, and that's not what is written. So this is already a kind of complicated texture. So this is basically this very sunny, very carefree mood, and this makes this prelude also very charming. In the end, I think it's the last 2 bars are very special, because it's a long line coming from the middle of the register, coming up. Actually almost over through octaves. And as we know, the upgoing lines mean happiness. But, well, that was kind of one or possible explanation of those lines going up. The fugue is in 3 parts, and this is actually also in a character. It's very equivocal fugue, because actually the signature time is 9/8, which actually means that it's a kind of active, right? A kind of energetic fugue, but in a way it doesn't, musically it doesn't make so much sense for me to play it in a very, jig manner or something. I hear it much more vocal, as a vocal element, especially with, so the subject is actually very also unusual for Bach, because it starts on the first beat, then it's a big pause, and then it goes on like this with 4th notes. It's even difficult to say where the subject ends. So basically it gives us always the feeling of stretto, because it always has the feeling that the other subject is entering before the subject in the other voice ends. And yeah, those we have again a line going up in these fourths. And actually it's very interesting that only in the bar 23 the real contra subject appears, which is in 16th notes. But somehow I think it feels like a very peaceful, very lyrical fugue for me. I know that, for instance, Czerny edition is giving fortissimo on this first note and then piano. I think it is also a possible way of playing it. Somehow I prefer, for me personally, I feel it in a more really very festive, very quiet and very light manner with a vocal, somehow with a vocal element. So please enjoy the A major Prelude and Fugue from Book I by Johann Sebastian Bach. A major Prelude and Fugue from Book I, Johann Sebastian Bach is somehow very unusual, in my opinion, very unusual set, but also very, very beautiful, with somehow very positive mood. Yes, Jakob, hello. This is absolutely right, that the piece is somehow, yeah, it's full of happiness and also, yes, quiet, very normal in a way. So it's indeed somehow an exceptional set. Yes. So now I'm coming to the another point of our conversation today is, as I already mentioned, the Dante Sonata, or the original title is Après une lecture de Dante. My French is a little bit limited, as you can hear probably, but anyway, I think it's a somehow very inspiring, very interesting title. It's under this title, Liszt also writes Fantasia quasi sonata. So it's not like Beethoven's sonata quasi una fantasia, but fantasia quasi sonata. And of course, this piece, in my opinion, is absolutely unique. It is an amazing vision, which Liszt somehow, he puts the let's say the impression, the visual of, let's say, which he was probably feeling while reading Dante's Divine Comedy. He puts it in sounds, and the way Liszt somehow, tells this story of this epic poem, or of course maybe only some parts of it. This is absolutely masterful, and for me this piece is full of vision, really amazing vision and hope and belief, and this is what makes this piece so exceptional. Yes, we were talking also about there are quite many, of course, musical compositions which are inspired by great literature. Of course, by Liszt there are quite many, because I don't know, maybe it's difficult to say why concrete Liszt, but of course Petrarca sonnets, or of course some other compositions by him. But another great works we have also talked about was Gaspard de la Nuit by Ravel, or somehow the pieces are coming more to my mind are orchestral pieces, like somehow immediately I have of course Harold in Italy by Berlioz, or Tchaikovsky, Manfred, or of course Francesca da Rimini. So it's, of course, all those arts, they are very much, in my opinion, they are very much connected. Of course, the leader, the songs, is something completely different. The music indeed meets the poetry. But anyway, now talking about the Dante Sonata, I would be very happy to share my personal perception of, or my view on this piece, also in a structural way. So I decided that for me somehow the piece consists of 3 sections, and I would like to show them to you and also explain why those 3. Of course, also this sonata form is not easy to it's not easy to divide it really, or to put it in a clear also formal structure. Anyway, of course, there are 2 main let's say subjects in this sonata, which is or for me, the first section I will be performing for you, it represents hell. It represents the desperation, the tragic, this description of afterlife, which is, in the hell. The second section is is connected, of course, is more connected with the second subject, which is for me somehow I feel it can be seen as a representation of heaven, or also maybe this figure which appears in Dante's book is Beatrice, the pure soul which guides Dante through the heaven. And of course, this greatest contrast also in the emotional contrast, but also the way he composes it. It's absolutely masterful. I'm always so excited to see it. So the beginning of the sonata is actually I think it's indeed the representation of desperation, the presentation of hell. Actually, in the Divine Comedy, when Dante enters the hell, he goes through a certain gate, and one sentence which is written on this gate is abandon the hope, everyone who enters here. And this is, of course, it's a very scary sentence, which means that actually there is indeed no hope after this certain point. And how Liszt, for me, describes this is the very, very beginning of the piece, is the entrance, which he writes like this. Here. It's basically D minor. D minor is a tonality also for Liszt. Apparently, it was also very much connected with death. You might remember we were discussing also about the Bach Chaconne or Mozart's Don Giovanni scene with the Comandore. So basically, it is a tonality which is somehow really historically connected with death. Another thing which Liszt is doing here, he uses the tritone, which is actually was famous in the Baroque times as devil in music. So this is indeed the combination of the most diabolic combination which actually can exist. And indeed, this phrase is so demanding, it's so powerful, that indeed it's difficult somehow to even to stand it. It's really very, very expressive entering. Then the main thing is again the devices which Liszt uses for that is again the chromatic scale. And of course, in the book, Dante was saying about the 9 circles of hell. In a way, it feels like the subject is moving in circles. That's how Liszt creates this. In a fog. This is also, I see really Dante's words in it in a way, because Dante describes some of those circles also as foggy, that you don't see anything, that you just hear the souls which are suffering, and this is this pain which they feel, and this pain they will feel until the end of the days, and just the imagination of suffer like this made Dante very, very sad. That was really a shock for him, and I think that the Liszt found indeed probably the most expressive way of yeah, of musical expression of this deepest desperation, and this is I think this is really amazing. And the end of the first section, I will show you until when I go in this first section, because the situation actually, it's this uncertainty is growing, and this fear. Again, Dante starts doubting whether he would like to go this path, because it's so heavy to go through. And finally, the Virgil, his guide through the hell, is telling him about Beatrice, this pure soul from heaven who also supports Dante, who wants to help him. And this, I think, this is the vision. This is this power of, as Virgil is telling her name to Dante, who is really, he's so, how could you say, he's so desperate. He wants to, he's in doubt whether he will definitely manage to go through this hell. And then suddenly, in the middle of this struggle, this. Time when this subject appears. It's in F sharp major, which is by Liszt definitely a tonality connected with benediction, with something very pure, very noble in a way. And somehow this is this in this moment of great desperation. This is this last rescue, and it appears and it helps. So this is the end of the first section, and I would like to perform this for you now. And maybe if you have some questions about, or some ideas about the, I don't know, the interpretation, or just some pianistical things, please, I would be very happy to talk about that. this is for me the end of this first section, and after that the picture of the vision of heaven, the vision of rescue, the vision of something divine, maybe God, I don't know, comes, and the language becomes completely different after this chromatic, very scary music, right? The scary emotion. Suddenly we have, actually it's the same, the idea, the thing is that the core of the motif remains the same, but it's in a completely different. So again, well, the hell subject is there, and the second subject, heaven, is in a natural scale, and this is of course a completely different feeling. So I go on with this beautiful. this middle section for me, or maybe development section, depends on how you would like to analyze it. This is this on one hand, of course, this is this divine heaven subject, which is then being fighted by the hell subject, so they're really very much fighting. But what I think also in the language for me is very musical language, what is interesting, that this motif you realize from this section. This already, it's not a triton anymore, so it somehow it already moves, to the heaven. So it moves that maybe still there is a hope that even those hopeless, this souls which lost the hope, that still they can be rescued. I think this is a very special moment in the sonata, in this development section, and where I just stopped. There comes now a recitativo with a real also appearance of this motif, which appears for the first time not in triton but in a perfect interval. So this is here what it happens, and this is crucial. So in a way it feels like the heaven, somehow it's more, I don't want to say it wins, because it's not the right term for this, but somehow that this bless from the heaven it comes, that the help, the rescue is coming. And in the third last section, it is actually basically it's a chorale, which is again Liszt already integrates these motifs. And only in the very end, in the very last page, again we have this. That the hell is there, that it's awake. That the people always have to be very careful. So this last section starts very, very beautiful. It's like light coming in the dark. I think it's a very beautiful place. Yes, so this is my personal analysis or my personal view on this piece, this amazing piece. You know, you might remember I have this Liszt photograph, a Liszt picture in my apartment. His eyes, which are somehow there's such a fire in his eyes, and somehow he's like obsessive in a way. And this piece somehow it represents for me this seeking for the light, for seeking for the rescue from all those sins. And this is just in the way I really adore this piece. And yeah, as very often by Liszt, he composing. Well, he had composed two fragments in about 1830s during his travels with Marie Dagout, also in Italy. And then in the end of 40s, he revived it. And so it became this piece, this sonata, which he then also added to the second for the Italian year of Année de Pèlerinage. And this is, of course, an absolute amazing piece. But I have to be honest, it's really also very helpful to read it. To read it again, this amazing poem by Dante Alighieri. It is it's still very, although it's unbelievable because it's also written almost 700 years ago, but it's still so modern in a way. And of course, that Dante established the Italian, in a way, this modern day Italian language, also in the literature. This is amazing. And so two great artists, two geniuses, Dante Alighieri and Liszt, somehow they meet together here in this piece. And yeah, that's really, for me, very, very moving piece of music. So please join the Saturday stream at 8:30 p.m. Central European Time. I will share the link for the stream of the celebrations of 700th anniversary of Dante Alighieri's death. Yes, so would be very happy if you would join it. And thank you so much again. The Steinway House Munich was great to be here and to play this wonderful Steinway concert grand. By the way, next week, because the last weeks were very, very exciting, but also very busy. So next week I'm going on a short vacation. So next week I will take a week off. And next time we will see each other then on September 17th, which is Thursday, in 2 weeks. And I wish you all a great time. Please stay healthy, stay safe, and yeah, stay inspired. See you very, very soon, and thanks a lot for joining. Bye-bye.